When I was 12, we rented a small brick house at the end of a narrow cul-de-sac. It wasn't creepy. No woods, no abandoned buildings nearby. Just identical houses and trimmed lawns. But my bedroom had one feature I never liked. A crawlspace door built into the wall beside my closet. It was small, about 3 feet high, painted the same color as the wall. My dad said it led to extra storage under the roof. The first week we moved in, I checked it myself. It opened into a dark, cramped space filled with insulation and wooden beams. Nothing unusual. Still, I kept it locked. The first strange thing happened late one night when I was trying to sleep. I heard a soft shifting sound from inside the crawl space, like someone adjusting their weight. I sat up and listened. It stopped. I told myself it was the house settling. The next night I heard it again. This time it sounded closer, not deep inside the crawl space, right behind the small door. A slow drag, then a faint thump. I stared at the door in the dark, heart pounding. The tiny metal latch reflected a sliver of moonlight from my window. It didn't move. Eventually, I convinced myself it was rats or pipes, until I noticed something that didn't make sense. The latch was unlocked. I always locked it. I remember turning it every night before bed, but there it was, hanging loose. I got out of bed and locked it again, my hands shaking slightly. After that, I started putting a chair in front of it before sleeping. A few nights passed quietly. Then one night, I woke up to the sound of the chair scraping across the floor. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The scraping was slow and steady, like something was pushing from the other side of the crawlspace door. The chair slid an inch, then another. I could see it shifting in the dim light. The latch began to rattle gently. I wanted to run, but my body wouldn't respond. I just stared as the chair moved again, creating a narrow gap between it and the door. The rattling stopped. Silence filled the room. Then I heard breathing. Not from the crawlspace, from inside my room, slow, uneven, close. I squeezed my eyes shut and pulled the blanket over my head. I stayed like that until I heard my alarm go off the next morning. When I finally looked, the chair was back in its original position. The latch was locked. I told my parents that evening. My dad checked the crawlspace with a flashlight. He found nothing, no animals, no signs of entry. But he added a heavier lock to the door anyway. We lived there for another year. The noises continued sometimes, soft shifting, faint dragging, but the door never opened again, at least not while we lived there. Years later, after we moved, I asked my mom if she ever heard anything strange in that house. She hesitated. Then she said sometimes, late at night, she thought she heard movement inside the walls. Not scratching, not rats, something slower, like someone crawling. I live in an apartment now, no crawl space, no attic access. But every once in a while, when it's very quiet, I wake up to the